Yamuna Dhira Yamuna Dhira Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihar Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihar Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihar Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paravagachara Sthara Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Sri Prabhupada Ki Drantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Class Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. This morning we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, Text 43. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Aitam vidita tatvayam Gopikayam sa Ishvara Vaishnavim Vyatanon Mayam Putra Neham Mayam Vibhu Putra Neham Mayam Vibhu Tiham Viditattvayam Gopikayam Saishvara Vaishnavim Mayatanum Vaishnavim Mayanom Mayam Putras Neham Mayam Vibhu Vaishnavis. Vaishnavis. Itam, in this way, vidita tatvayam, when she understood the truth of everything philosophically, Gopikayam, unto Mother Yasoda, Sa, the Supreme Lord, Ishvara, the Supreme Controller, Vaishnavim, Vishnumaya, or Yogamaya, Nayatanat, Vyat Anot, expanded, Mayam, Yogamaya, Putra Sneha Mayam, very much attached because of material affection for her son, Vibhu, the Supreme Lord. Translation. Mother Yasoda, by the grace of the Lord, could understand the real truth, but then again the Supreme Master, by the influence of the internal potency, Yogamaya, inspired her to become absorbed in intense maternal affection for her son. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Although Mother Yasoda understood the whole philosophy of life, at the next moment she was overwhelmed by affection for her son by the influence of Yogamaya. Unless she took care of her son Krishna, she thought, how could he be protected? She could not think otherwise, and thus she forgot all her philosophical speculations. This forgetfulness is described by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as being inspired by the influence of Yogamaya. Mohana Sadarmayan Mayam. Materialistic persons are captivated by Mahamaya, whereas devotees, by the arrangement of the Supreme Energy, are captivated by Yogamaya. Om Agyatamandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chaksuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Swayam Rupa Kadam Hayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitananam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimad. So in this verse today we are being given the opportunity to understand two different energies of Krishna. The spiritual energy and the material energy, Yogamaya and Mahamaya. And we can understand from our readings and studies that these energies are not ordinary energies, they're Krishna's energies. And just as Krishna is inconceivably great in whatever he does, so his energies are of the same character. Inconceivable means something that is outside of the box, outside of our puny, brainy understanding. There's a nice verse in the Sri Shapanachad, Mantra 5, which explains this out-of-the-box character of the Lord. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is very near as well. He is within everything, and yet he is outside everything. And Prabhupada gives a nice explanation in his purport of that verse. Here is a description of some of the Supreme Lord's transcendental activities executed by his inconceivable potencies. The contradictions given here prove the inconceivable potency of the Lord. He walks and he does not walk. Ordinarily, if someone can walk, it is illogical to say he cannot walk. But in reference to God, such a contradiction simply serves to indicate His inconceivable power. Within our limited fund of knowledge, we cannot accommodate such contradictions, and therefore we conceive of the Lord in terms of our own limited power of understanding. Sometimes Prabhupada, he would give examples, even things that we can see in this world, of the inconceivable nature of the Lord. Just like the planets, huge planets just floating in space. Just this planet alone, at least 2/3 of this planet is made up of water, and water is very, very heavy. And yet this planet is just floating in space. He gave another example of the banyan seed. The banyan seed is so small you can hardly see the seed. But within that seed, there's another banyan tree. Therefore, it is inconceivable. It is beyond our immature, tiny little brainy understanding. And there are so many other examples within the world that we can see that are inconceivable. The sun also, it's been blazing for billions of years. Something that's generally on fire, it just reduces in size and turns into ashes. But the sun has remained the same size for all this time. It hasn't reduced in size, and it's the same as before. And therefore it is explained that this world is self-sustainable. It is self-sustainable. We don't actually need to do anything. We should just live a simple, natural life and let Krishna work on the sustainability of the planet, of the world, and our things around us. So, in this verse, it's explained that Yogamaya is acting differently to execute different purposes just for his own pleasure. So here's Mother Yasoda. She's first understanding that Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. And then the very next minute, she's forgetting that very fact and seeing our child as just a normal little boy which she has to protect. So there's this contradiction. Is he God, or is he just a little boy who needs to be protected and guided? It's a contradiction. But this is how the Lord wants to have his pastimes with his devotees. So the Mahatmas who fully surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, they're directed by Yogamaya. Whereas the Dhiratmas, those who have no inclination for devotional practices, they're under the influence of Mahamaya. So the bewilderment of Mother Yasoda is Krishna God, or is he my son? Is he God, or is he my little boy, which I have to protect? And the confusion in this world is similar. Are we conditioned souls? Are we independent, or are we fully dependent? Are we puppets in the hands of something greater than us? So there's a contradiction. We are constantly, as devotees, we're trying to adjust to the conditioning that we were the center of the universe, to suddenly coming to this understanding that actually we're not the center, but Krishna is the center, and we have to submit to his orders and his control. And it's not easy. As devotees, we spend many, many years trying to figure this out. And that is why in the Gita it is explained, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. Yes, it's the king of education, but it's a supreme secret at the same time. It's the best kept secret of all secrets. There's no better secret than this transcendental knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And it can only be given through the service, devotional service to Guru and Krishna. So in the verse it mentions two words, captivated. Actually it uses the word directed, but it can be also captivated. We're captivated. We're all, whether we're in the spiritual world or in the material world, we're all captivated or directed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotees are captivated and controlled, and the non-devotees are similarly captivated and controlled. There's no other option. We're completely under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada explains that these two energies, although they appear to be two energies, they're actually one. He explains that just like electricity, it has the ability to generate heat, but it also has the ability to cool things down. So he's explaining this in one purport. Ultimately everything, these two potencies are one. Exactly as electric potency is one, although it can act both for cooling and heating. The Lord's potencies are both in the spiritual world and in the material world. In the material world, the Lord's potencies work as Yoga Maya, and in the spiritual world, the Lord's potencies work as Yoga Maya, and in the material world, the same potency works as Mahamaya, exactly as electricity works in both a heater and a cooler. One of the things Lord Brahma has to create in the beginning of the creation is nescience. Nescience is an important factor within the material world, because without that nescience, we wouldn't be able to function in the way to fulfill our material desires. So that's one of the first things that's explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, text number 2. It is explained how nescience must be created first. Although Lord Brahma doesn't want to create nescience, because he's a devotee and he would prefer, in one sense, he would just prefer to that everyone became liberated. But it's a blueprint, it's a universal based blueprint in order for the conditioned souls to act out their material desires. So Lord Brahma has to create it, although he doesn't want to, but that's one of the things he does create, nescience. And in Srila Prabhupada's purport of that verse, he explains what nescience is. there are 5 factors. Self-deception. Self-deception means allowing ourselves to believe something about us that is not true. Another factor, the fear of death, anger after frustration, the sense of false ownership, and the illusory concept of the body or forgetfulness of one's real identity. So these are the 5 factors which cover this nescience which is covering us. Within Krishna consciousness, we're trying to overcome that nescience. Just as Mother Yasoda overcame that understanding that Krishna is God, and she ultimately concluded that she must have been dreaming that Krishna was God. Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. That was her conclusion, that, oh, I must have been dreaming that Krishna was God. No, he's not God, it was just a dream. He's actually my son. So in the same way, in the material world, we are also dreaming. Until we come to Krishna consciousness, we're also in a dream-like state with this false identification. There was once a king. He dreamt one night that he was a butterfly. And his dream was so real. In that dream, he could see everything. He could see him as a butterfly, the colors of his wings. He could see the different varieties of flowers that he was taking nectar from. So his dream was so real that in the morning when he woke up, he was a little confused. And so he sent for his ministers, and he asked them, he said, I had a dream last night and I'm a little doubtful, actually, who am I? Am I a king that was dreaming that I was a butterfly? Or am I a butterfly now dreaming that I'm a king? This was his inquiry. So I can ask you, what was he, a king or a butterfly? Was he a king or was he a butterfly? Neither. Exactly. This is the illusion. It is called daydreams and night dreams. Daydream, he was dreaming he was a king, and that night he was dreaming he was a butterfly. So we have been dreaming also, so long we've been dreaming. In fact, so long we can't even conceive of how long we've been here. We sometimes celebrate our birthday. I am 21 years old today. I am 46 years old today. I'm 77 years old today. We have a big birthday celebration. Singing, happy birthday to you. There's cake with all the candles on. It's a big celebration. But my question is, are you 21? Are you 46? Are you 77? A little bit more, I would say. We're more like 1 million years old today. And that probably is being very kind. It could be 2 million, it could be 3, it could be more. Are you going to celebrate? Should we celebrate that? No, not really. It's actually a disgrace to be separated from Krishna for so long. And that was our dream-like existence. And now, taking up Krishna consciousness, we're trying to come out of that dreamlike condition. And it's not easy. Prabhupada said to Shruti Kirti once that it will take you at least 12 years just to wake up from the dream. Just like in the morning when you brush your teeth. It's not like when you wake up, you immediately wake up. You stagger to the bathroom and you get your toothbrush and toothpaste and you're kind of like brushing your teeth but you're half asleep. You're active but you're half asleep. You're still in that dream-like world. It's not until you take a shower that you actually wake up and you understand, okay, it's another day, let me be active again. In fact, even before, even you have to be woken up. You have to be woken up by the Supersoul. Come on, time to get up. Your name is Dhirasanta Das Goswami. And you're giving the Bhagavatam class today. We have to be reminded in every aspect of our life. So, this is the fight that we are undergoing as devotees, to wake up from that illusory condition and become Krishna conscious. So after 12 years, Prabhupada said, after 12 years, whatever you say and do will have some meaning. You'll have more faith, you'll have more enthusiasm, you'll have some realizations. And yeah, it works. And Krishna consciousness works so wonderfully that it's automatic, actually. I remember I was only 2 months in the temple. One morning I was listening to the temple president give a Srimad Bhagavatam class. And I was so arrogant and proud that I was just simply looking at him, thinking, well, who does he think he is? I'm sure I could do just as well. The next morning, after Mangal Arati, the same temple president, he made an announcement. And part of the announcement was that Bhakta Dev was going to give the Bhagavad Gita class that night. And I was absolutely shocked. Did he read my mind? And I came up to him, I said, Prabhu, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But I'm sure there's someone else much more qualified than me. He said, no, it's okay, you can give the class. I said, but I don't know what I would say. So he said, well, you just say what you've heard. If you've heard anything, then say that. See, in those days, it's not like today. You can pick and choose whether you take the instructions of the temple president or not, or even your guru. In those days, it was, if your temple president said something, you had to do it. There was no, you were either in the temple or out of the temple. That was it. So that night, in those days we didn't chant Jaya Radha Madhava because Prabhupada hadn't introduced it in the society. So we chanted Hare Krishna mantra. So I chanted the Hare Krishna mantra for as long as I could, and to the point that it was exhausted. I struggled for the Sanskrit. I even struggled through the English because I took so much drugs that I became illiterate. And when it came to giving the class, this is what I said. Well, actually, we're not this body, we're spirit souls. Does anyone have any questions? And there were no questions. And my face went red. And you could literally see the false ego coming from this head of mine and going off into the ether. And I remember vowing right there and then, I would never ever do this again. I would never look at one of my seniors and think that I'm better than them. Anyone that's your senior, you should give them all respect. So this is how we learn. We went through the school, a school of hard knocks, gradually coming from ignorance to passion to goodness. And we get these realizations of how we're advancing. Another time I was in Finland. I opened up Finland in 1981. So I'd already been a devotee for about 10 years. And after about 5 years of being there, we had purchased one farm. So we had only been on that farm for about a week. And we only had one key to the farmhouse. So one Sunday morning I said to the devotees, you go on into Helsinki and prepare the Sunday feast. And I'll come later and give the class. So when I did leave, after a couple of hours, I closed the farm door shut. But I realized I'd left the key inside. And I was looking around to see if there was any windows open. No windows open. So I decided, well, the only way I'm going to get in is to smash one of the windows. So I went to the shed, got a hammer, ready to smash a window. But as I was raising the hammer to hit the window, there was something saying, don't smash the window. And I tried several times. I was just literally, it was almost like someone was saying, don't do it. And I couldn't smash the window. I just couldn't do it. I was a little bewildered, but anyway, I thought, well, let's see if there's any windows at the top, maybe the top of the farmhouse. So I got a ladder and I was checking the windows up on the top floor. And there was one window open. It was not open, but it was not locked. So I just had to prise the window open. So you can try to imagine, this is the ladder, this is the top step, and here's me standing on the top step. Here's the window, and to get inside, I had to actually come down like this onto the floor, head first. So as I was coming down onto the floor, the key fell out of my top pocket. And I was thinking, wow, Krishna, what are you trying to tell me here? And I was thinking about it a lot, and I came to a conclusion. Whether I was right or I was wrong, but I had this very strong feeling that Krishna was trying to tell me, congratulations, you're now in the mode of goodness. Krishna says himself in the back of the Gita that those whose mind have become peaceful, the Supersoul is reached. It means that the Supersoul takes personal interest in the devotee, and he can maneuver in such a way that protect the devotee and maneuver him in a way that is more conducive for his service. Because anyone knows, we've all seen as bhaktas, we will just do anything. Smash a window, that's easy, give me an hammer. Smash. But it's the mode of ignorance, the mode of passion. With the mode of goodness, you're illuminated with knowledge. Your mind is more peaceful, your senses are more controlled. Therefore, when you do something, it's of a greater level of input. And these are the experiences that we have in our Krishna consciousness, and they highlight to us how powerful Krishna consciousness is. That all we need to do at the end of the day is chant our 16 rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles, and do some service every day. This is how we're going to get out of the material world. And Prabhupada gave us plenty of reassurances that if you just did these simple things, your life is successful and you're guaranteed to go back home, even in this very lifetime. One time Prabhupada was invited to the Birla's home in Bombay. The Birla at that time, they were the richest family in India. And Prabhupada was going to speak in the evening at their home. So the servant called them during the day and asked, "What would you like Prabhupada to speak about?" And Mrs. Birla, she said, "Well, do you have a list?" And so the servant says, "Yes, I have a list. Here is a list." And on the list, one of them was to be successful. So she said, "Oh, we would like Prabhupada to speak about that, how to be successful." So when the servant told Prabhupada, "This is what you need to speak about tonight," Mrs. Birla has asked personally if you could speak about success. And he laughed. He said, "Just see, they are already so successful. They're already so successful, but they are wanting to be more successful. They want to hear from Prabhupada how to be more successful." So that evening, Prabhupada, he surprised them all. And this is what he said. Very interesting explanation about success. He explained that everyone in the material world is under the control of material energy, personified as Durga, who rides on her lion carrier and exhibits many arms with many weapons. He said that Durga holds a trident which represents the threefold miseries of material existence and is always piercing the conditioned soul with these miseries. And opposed to the material energy is the spiritual energy, personified as Srimati Radharani. Srila Prabhupada said that success in life means to transfer oneself from the control of Durga Devi, the material energy, to the shelter of Radharani, the spiritual energy. So his point was that, worshipping the demigods, the demigods give you what you want. Krishna only gives you what you need. This is the difference between worshipping the demigods and worshipping Krishna. The demigods will give you whatever you want, but Krishna will only give you what you need. And the demigods, he will give you whatever you want, meaning, what do you want? Well, I want to improve my material existence. It's like a person in the jailhouse. The person in the jailhouse, he's in a simple jail. One day the superintendent knocks on the jail door and says, okay, I'm feeling so charitably disposed today. So you can ask from me whatever you want. So the prisoner says, you mean anything? Anything I want? Yeah, I'm feeling like that today. Let me know, what do you want? So the prisoner is thinking, anything I want? Can you give me a better bed? This thing's really hard. I can hardly sleep at night. Please give me a better bed and I'll be really happy. So he was explaining like that this is the problem. All this material success is just keeping us in the jail. We may be more comfortable. We may have better facilities. But at the end of the day, it's a jail. We're in a jail. Someone who's in the jail is thinking, when I get out of here, I'll be free. But actually, you're in a jail within a jail. So even if you leave the material jail, the prison house of the government, you're still in the jail. So this is Krishna consciousness. We're trying to get out of the jail house of material existence. It's not that we want a better house, a better office, or a better car, a better material position. We want to acquire the wonderful gifts that Prabhupada has given us, which are so far superior than anything of this material success. Sometimes I'm asked by devotees, okay, you knew Prabhupada, so what was the thing that Prabhupada gave you that inspired you the most? And that's not an easy question to answer because Prabhupada gave us so much. We could list probably 50 gifts that Prabhupada gave us, maybe more. But when I think about all the gifts, the one that really inspires me the most is the fact that Prabhupada was the only one who told us the truth. Prabhupada was the only one who told us the truth, whereas everyone else has been telling us lies. Lies after lies after lies after lies. And what about some more lies? Lies, 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 lies. This is one of our challenges, to sift through all the lies of the world and accept the truth from the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. From the carton of juice that says 100% pure to the landing on the moon, it is all lies. Some are small lies and others are big lies. But lies they are. Prabhupada gave us the truth. He was the only one who gave us the truth, whereby we can discriminate reality from illusion for our best welfare. And this is what we're leaving. We're leaving a vile society. This is a reggae song that was written in the early 80s by a devotee group. It's called The Vile Society. They're trying to hang their hat where their hand can't reach. And those who don't know nothing, they're trying to teach. Their hearts are hard like stone, yet they pretend to weep. And those who don't sow nothing, they're trying to reap. They kill their children before they're born, and they kill the elephant just to get the horn. They don't care anymore what they eat and will slaughter animals just to get the meat. They're intoxicating themselves to death, and smoke and fire has become their breath. The brain is now like a gaping hole, and they don't know nothing about the spirit soul. The air is nothing but factory smoke, yet everybody is going broke. The school is just like a slaughterhouse where they love to read about Mickey Mouse. The women all want to be the men, and the men can only remember when. And the children leave when they learn to walk, and with the obscene language they learn to talk. History repeats itself, they say, and there's an end to the longest day. So don't feel bad when the axe comes down, because you wouldn't know if to smile or frown. No matter what you may say or do, you're going to get what's coming to you. And the only way you can change your fate is by going back to the spiritual state. Very nice song, wonderful. This is the material world in the 21st century. Our communication, wireless. Our phones, cordless. Our cooking, fireless. Our food, fatless. Our sweets, sugarless. Our labor, effortless. Our relations, fruitless. Our attitude, careless. Our feelings, heartless. Our politics, shameless. Our education, worthless. Our mistakes, countless. Our arguments, baseless. Our youth, jobless. Our ladies, topless. Our boss, brainless. Our jobs, thankless. Our needs, endless. Our situation, hopeless. Our salaries, less and less. And this is a song by George Harrison. It's one of the last songs that he recorded. It's called Brainwashed. Brainwashed in our childhood, brainwashed by the school, brainwashed by our teachers, and brainwashed by their rules. Brainwashed by our leaders, by our kings and queens. Brainwashed in the open and brainwashed behind the scenes. They brainwashed my great uncle. They brainwashed my cousin Bob. They even brainwashed my grandma when she was working for the mob. Brainwash you while you're sleeping, while you're in a traffic jam. Brainwash you while you're weeping, while you're still a baby in a pram. Brainwashed by the military, brainwashed under duress, brainwashed by the media, you're brainwashed by the press. Brainwashed by computers, brainwashed by mobile phones, brainwashed by the satellite, brainwashed to the bones. God, 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 won't you lead us out of this mess? God, 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 from the places of concrete. God, 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 nothing's worse than ignorance. God, 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 I just won't accept defeat. So do we want to accept defeat? Do we? Are we going to work hard to fight, try to get away from this Maya influence? If that's true, then you can sing this song along with me. Okay? Say after me. Say no to the devil. Say no. Say no to the devil. Say no. Say yes one time. You sell your soul for sure. Let's sing it. Say no to the devil. Say no. Say no. Say no to the devil. Say no. No, no, no. Say yes. One time. You sell your soul for sure. It's sure. Sure, sure, sure. No doubt about it. If we can pass Maya's test, if we can say to Maya each time she's tempting us, no, 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 no. At some point, she will see how sincere we are. She will then go to Radharani. She'll say, Radharani, see that devotee down there? He's good. Radharani, she will go to Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, see that devotee down there? He's good. And what does Krishna do? He calls Maya. Hey Maya, come here. Come here. You see that devotee down there? Well, leave him alone. He's mine. Then not only are we controlled, well, Krishna actually takes the position of the Supersoul. Previously we were controlled by the Supersoul when we were in the goodness. When in pure goodness, Krishna personally takes us by the hand. And then Krishna consciousness becomes so exciting, you're not even doing anything. You're not doing anything. Krishna takes you everywhere, does everything for you. This is Krishna consciousness. This is Krishna consciousness. And this is how to be free, successful, and really happy in life. Srila Prabhupada ki. Actually, there's one more song. Would you want to sing it? This is another reggae song. You can sing the chorus, okay? Say, come and join the congregation. It is the chanting of the holy name. You don't need to change your situation, but you'll never be the same. So you repeat the chorus after each verse. This is the age, it's the iron age. Everybody's living on an iron wage. Gone are the days of silver and gold. If you live till 20, you'll be very old. So, come and join the congregation. It's the chanting of the holy name. You don't need to change your situation, but you'll never be the same. Anyway, there are more verses, but this is also a very nice song, which very inspiring. I think I should finish there. Hare Krishna.